sovereign wealth fund is extremely important for countries like Namibia, in particular that depends on resources, whether it's minerals or other resources. Resources tend to be not renewable, and they have a lifespan. And so it's important that we have to consider that these resources don't belong to only the current generation, but they belong also to future generations. And one day they will be depleted, and therefore we have to find a way to replace this resource so that our children and children can also benefit from these resources. So I think it is very, very important that we have established the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Personally, I would have liked to see it happening long ago. I know that the President, when he was still the Minister of Trade and Industry, he started to develop the idea of the Sovereign Wealth Fund. I was then at the Bank of Namibia, and he reached out to the Bank of Namibia to assist with conceptualizing the idea. But luckily, and finally it has happened now, there will not be an immediate benefit, but we have to consider the rainy days, as you spoke about.
So, Doctor, what are the proceeds of a sovereign wealth fund typically used for, and how do you think that the Namibian government intends to use such a fund, considering the future generation, like you mentioned?
I think, when do you plant a tree? So that's, I think, what we have learned also from the current crisis is that if we could have had a sovereign wealth fund established long ago, it could have maybe benefited us. But the crisis is also an opportunity for us to fine-tune our policies and to do things that maybe we couldn't do before. So I think it's actually the right time to use the time of the crisis to think, what can we do for the future generations? The one good thing with our sovereign wealth fund is that it's not only looking at the resources, but it's also looking at any extra savings that would accumulate in good times. That say, for example, if we run a budget surplus, instead of spending it, we can save some of the surpluses for days like today. So I think it was really just the opportune time. Obviously, it could have happened earlier. I wish it could have happened earlier, but it's better late than never.